Hey Ding Dongs, Matt over here with wonderful Chris Hayner at the DC Activation, where we got to look at the DC Universe app. Chris, first impression.
I love it. It does a weird amount of things that you don't really expect.
Yep.
It's got comics, it's got TV shows, it's got cartoons, it's got movies. I feel like app design has tried to go very minimal. Mm-hmm. This is like, no, here's everything. Look at it all and figure out what you want to do. And I'm into that because it's just also pretty.
Yeah, but at the same time, I felt it was very much like Hulu. It was easy to navigate, easy to move around, easy to find what you're looking for. There was also the social aspect of it, which I'm a little skeptical.
Yeah, they have a community that'll allow. They liken it to an old school message board. Which, don't get me wrong, I love an old school message board, but the internet can be a lot sometimes, and thankfully they said it'll be very, very moderated. So hopefully it'll be safe for DC fans of all ages.
Probably take some time because again, the internet. But what was most kind of exciting to me is that you are getting kind of everything that you like as a DC fan all in one place. In addition to, you're getting a lot of original stuff. So we got to see the Titans trailer.
Batman. Okay, yes, by now you've all seen the Titans trailer.
Yeah.
Robin saying Batman is bananas. It's just so weird. In a world where what we've gotten used to from DC TV is Gotham, the greatest show of all time, and then everything else on the CW, which is not as good as Gotham, you don't expect something as dark and bloody. There were multiple shots of gore and blood flying off of people and then it's
the
dark.
Batman thing's right in the beginning. It's just they're not even here's Raven and then it's just
what would Batman think of what you're doing? Batman.
It's dark. It looks fun. I'm excited to see kind of what DC's take on these very loved properties is going to be like. And from the first trailer, it looked pretty good. I'm gonna watch it. I mean, it
ain't Teen Titans Go. I'll tell you what.
It's the polar opposite of that.
But looking at the app for a second, it offers so much. When you hear DC streaming service was coming, there were a couple of things you would just assume. They're like, oh, it's going to be a place where I can go watch Batman movies, or it's going to be a place where I can go watch...
I can watch Batman vs. Superman on repeat, non-stop.
Over and over and over. But, you get a lot of movies. I'm not quite sure exactly what all movies you get, but you get a ton of movies, a ton of TV shows. Birds of Prey was prominently featured in this demo, and
I saw that a lot.
I was very happy about that, and also Superboy, the DC shows you don't think of much. But there's so many comics, and they're gonna have a bunch of permanent installations of comics, but also sort of a rotating gallery of comics that are pinned to what's happening in the DC world at the moment.
What I thought was also really cool, DC is under a lot of contracts with different companies, most predominantly CW with their television shows. And while Jim Lee told us that they're not going to be on there for free, you still have the option to buy it through their service, which that's kind of the best that they can do, and I'm actually kind of happy with that decision to do that. You can still watch most of it on Netflix, but if you want it all on your DC app, you can pick it up there too.
Well, and beyond that, there's a lot of there's an encyclopedia aspect where it's kind of like an insane DC Wikipedia, where anything you want to know about any DC character or event or anything, you just click it, and you can. They're going to source user content for it. So if you have stern feelings about Batman and Catwoman getting married, you can let the DC universe know.
Which was brought up so many times during the presentation. If you have big opinions about that, not really.
I mean, good, I'm glad for those two kids. And also, we didn't see any of it, but they said there will be exclusive merch opportunities to buy within the app.
When it was announced, there is going to be the Justice League animated series set of figures that you can buy through their shop. But for me, I'm just kind of this. They're doing a lot, but it feels like looks pretty good.
Yeah, I would say both of us coming into this,
a little skeptical.
Knowing we were going to play with the beta today, we were a little skeptical about how it was going to work because I don't know. I just assumed these things are going to go
about everything.
Yeah, but it worked. It worked really well. It was super responsive. My one critique at this point, it's not launching on gaming consoles, which I feel is especially a lot of the GameSpot
Chromecast.
Or Chromecast, that's right.
Chromecast is next year. It will be on Apple TV,
Roku, Fire Stick, all of your tablets and your phones, and So it'll be on a lot of things, but there are a couple big areas that it needs to tackle.
But if we're going
as
to compare
quickly
this,
as possible.
compared to another streaming service that you and I both have that launched a few years back, the WWE Network,
Oh,
they
yeah.
had the same limitations, and
Yes.
eventually it all got worked out within 6 months. So I expect kind of the same timetable, actually probably quicker, because I think DC's a little bit bigger.
And looking at something like WWE Network, it makes you wonder if at a certain point we're going to get live DC programming. Because they say at launch, the plan is for one original show per week. So it'll start out with 10 episodes of Titans, and from there it goes into Young Justice Outsiders.
Yes.
And then Doom Patrol.
Then Swamp Thing. And I want
which-
Swamp Thing a lot sooner.
I
to be
want Swamp Thing
honest.
sooner, but also like, I didn't realize it was going to come that soon.
That's
like,
pretty quick.
And then after that, it'll get into the back half of the season of Outsiders.
Yeah.
No mention of the maybe being redeveloped Metropolis that was announced. But supposedly there are more show announcements coming. We'll find out soon.
There's supposed to be another show announcement tomorrow that we don't know about. By the time you're watching this,
You'll know.
You already know.
Comic-Con's crazy, guys.
So that's it from the DC Activation booth. Enjoy your Comic-Con by watching us. Wink.
Subscribe. It's down here.